So today we're going to be upgrading the desk setup a little bit more because we got a couple deliveries in from UGREEN, which is the sponsor of today's video. They sent over their 200 watt desktop charger, which we're going to be unboxing in a moment. We also have this cable that I had no idea things like this even existed. With the current way everything here is powered, I'm trying to cut down on the amount of power sockets I use to power everything. Hence why I picked this thing up. Basically, let me show you underneath the table what is going on in terms of how things are powered right now and how we're going to be improving it. So if we come underneath the table right here, we have the sockets. This is the PC, and then this is everything else. And if we come all the way here, we have, of course, a bunch of cable trunking to hide all the cables inside of. We have all of the cables coming from the monitor and all this stuff. But over here is where everything is powered for the actual setup. Now, at the moment, we have one socket free. Now, I have this LED light strip from Govee, which I don't know if this is going to be staying in the setup for long. But for now, this doesn't actually plug into this because this part kind of overlaps another socket. So if I plug this in, I lose two sockets, which is kind of bad given that I only have one left. So we should be gaining two sockets back today with the cables I've purchased and that UGREEN charger. So we have this thing as well in the setup at the moment, also from UGREEN, that powers my wireless charger that is on top of the desk, which I'll show you in a moment. But this thing is just like a USB Type-C charger, as you can see right there. It's probably the fastest charger you could buy to charge your iPhone with. It's a UGREEN PD lightning charger. Would highly recommend it. I'll leave this linked in the description down below. I've used it for years, and anyone that's come around mine has always been super impressed with how fast their iPhones can charge using this thing. It is the best charger you can buy. But at the moment, it's not charging an iPhone, it's just powering my wireless charger that's on top of the desk. We also have another cable, which is right here. So this right here powers another device. Very similar to the 200 watt UGREEN thing we're going to be switching to today and replacing this thing with. But this right here is basically like a USB hub that just charges devices. You can plug your phone in, or in my case, my own magnetic chargers here to charge headsets with. We have, for example, a Rode microphone that I can just attach this thing via magnet and start charging it. Or we have my own portable charger, and if I want to charge it up, boom, link it via magnet, and we're good, they're charging. And then at the top here, we have the Razer wireless charger that only works with certain things that it's plugged into via that USB Type-C cable I showed you. So it is compatible with the UGREEN one I have there, but just about every other Type-C or just any kind of charging power bank I've tried to plug this thing into, it doesn't work because it doesn't get enough power to run itself with. But it is a cool charger. It's the original Razer wireless charger, so it can stand up like this. You can put your phone on there, of course, and it can still charge, or you can lower it like this. It's just a wireless charger. It's really nothing special apart from the fact that yeah, it can stand up and there's a bunch of lights underneath. But basically today we're just going to try improve the way everything is powered in the setup, given that we have stopped daisy chaining power extension leads and power extension strips into each other, and we've cut down to just a single power extension, which is that 6-socket one we have mounted to the table. We need to be efficient with the way we power things. And with this cable, we can save a socket, all right? So I've ended up finding this interesting looking cable right here over on Amazon, and I was shocked that I had not discovered something like this before. Because if you have a multi-monitor setup, chances are you're probably powering each one of your monitors through their own power cable like this, that goes into the wall. This C13 port goes into your monitor and it's powered. But say you have a 2-monitor setup going on right now. You could pick up one of these cables, which is like a splitter power cable, and you could power both of your monitors through one cable. Crazy, I know. I didn't even know this thing existed. But now that I'm going to power both of my monitors on the outer side here through just one power cord, we're going to gain, an extra actual power socket back on the power extension cord, or back on the power extension strip. People called me out in my power extension fire hazard video where I was plugging in power extension strips into power extension strips. Yeah, and the whole video I was calling them power extension cords. Anyway, let's swap these power cables over, man. Okay, so the cables have been installed. The monitors do actually work with this splitter cable. No problem so far. Everything is installed. Everything's working as expected. They're just like normal power cables. It's just one cable into two cables. Pretty cool. Now, we have another thing to unbox here today, and that is the UGREEN Nexode 200 watt charger. This actually, all of a sudden feels a lot more premium now that it's out of that plastic wrapping. This is where like I open it and it just flies out. Oh no, it's right here. It's actually quite snugly secured. Boom! We have 2 USB Type A ports and 4 USB Type C. So for the first C1 and C2 ports, each one of them can provide 100 watts at the same time, as far as I know, for a total maximum wattage output of the whole device of 200 watts. This does support PD charging for 100 watts, 65 watts, 45 watts, and 20 watts. For iPhones, I'm pretty sure iPhones are still on like the 20 watt PD chargers, if I'm not mistaken. So this will also charge iPhones ridiculously quick. Not only iPhones, but you can also charge your MacBook through this device, as well as an iPad, a bunch of tablets, you know, anything really. It's just a big charging brick after all. You can charge quite a few devices, as you can imagine. It's just Type C ports and Type A ports that can charge a bunch of things. And then this thing opens up and we get some cables, of course. Oh, it's actually good. We get a Type C cable, I think. Yeah, that's a Type C cable. Cool. Yeah, you can charge your laptop, your mobile phone, your tablet, like at the same time through one thing. That's pretty sick. You know, if your laptop can be charged via Type C, this thing could deliver like up to 100 watts to it, which is pretty good, you know. Now, the actual port that this device uses is a C6 and a C5. So we have the C5 here and then the C6 port that this goes into, just like that. Very simple. And then we have, what appears to be a 2-meter cable for the actual power cable here, which is more than enough for what I need. The first thing I'm gonna do as well, because this is gonna be stuck underneath my table, is I'm gonna put some Velcro on this device right away, right in the middle, just there. So this one here is going to be replaced. We're going to unplug these two, take this off via Velcro. Well, we have completed what we set out to do. We have gained back an extra power socket, and I figured out a way to gain another one back on top of this with another splitter cable. Now, the way that this UGREEN charger is powered is via that C5 cable, I believe it is, the C5 and C6. So I've gone ahead and ordered a C5, is it a C5? Yeah, C5 splitter, another splitter cable, so that we can power that 200 watt charger as well as the Razer Raptor monitor through a single cable. Genius, actually genius idea right here.
Sometimes my genius it's almost frightening.
Now, one of the ultimate tests we gotta do is to see whether or not this charger, now that it's plugged into the C1 port, you know, it supports 100 watts. So will it now work with the Razer wireless charger? If it blinks red, then that means bad. Oh, it's blinking green. That can only mean that we are indeed charging. Amazing. Boom, we have solved the mystery. The UGREEN 200 watt charger supports that Razer charger. Very nice.
Several days later.
So I've just gotten 2 new deliveries in from Amazon. We have a new power cable for the PC build. This is a 3-meter, 13 amp cable. So this should be able to handle at least 3000 watts here in the UK at 240 volts. So that's going to be plugging into the wall right over there and replacing that cable that is currently way too short. As you can see, that just barely makes it into the PC. This is not a good situation to be in for the cable. It's really like stretched to its limit right there. So yeah, we're going to replace that one with one that is 1 meter longer. So we should be good there afterwards. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I've once again ordered another splitter power cable, this time not in the form of a C13 power cable, but instead a C5. It is almost hard to believe that the cable management in this desk setup could get better, but it's about to get even better. Hey, well, I think everything is actually working, by the looks of things at least. These are lighting up, so that means the UGREEN charger is working and the phone is indeed charging. The UGREEN charger is powered. I think by the looks of things, the Razer monitor is also powered. The PC seems to be running just fine. What a success. Oh, I say we're running just fine. We just booted up into the BIOS. Why we're in the BIOS, I don't know. Leave. I don't need to make any changes. Right as I'm about to say, like, everything's fine, no problems. PC refuses to boot into Windows. This is totally meant to happen. This is all a part of the plan, really. There is some new DDR5 RAM on the way, by the way. I will make a video about the new RAM as soon as it arrives, because I still blue screen every single day. With the current DDR5 RAM I have, it is indeed faulty. Right, let me give you a quick tour of how things are looking underneath here. So at the moment, we are still using the Govee LED strip right here that is actually taking up still another socket right there, but now we have one spare. And we've also added another device to the table, which also came with this extra power brick. So we have, I think, this cable powering the MSI monitors, that one powering the speaker that we've just added, well, the soundbar that I'll show you in a second and where that is. And then this powers the UGREEN power bank and the Razer monitor, all through one cable through this splitter right here. This still could be tidied up a little bit more. It is especially kind of a war zone right in this area, right where a bunch of the cables lead to all the monitors, but everything else for the most part is pretty tidy. Although this could maybe do with like a bit of a rework to make it even more clean, perhaps by moving all of these, well, maybe this whole power strip to the end there, maybe adding a couple more J channels just to kind of like distribute things a bit better. Because at the moment, it's still kind of crazy underneath here. It's just a whole lot less crazy than it was before. It's just a bit more tidy now, you know? And as for the soundbar, well, it is none other than the Sound Blaster Katana, which I think is, the logo is upside down. But yeah, we have the soundbar right here behind the Razer monitor. Let me power this thing on, and it basically connects to this monitor via a micro USB cable. And then we have volume. Oh, I just turned it off again. Oops. Right, let me just turn that back on and stop pressing buttons, because we can pretty much control everything through the PC. So if we go over to here, we have this Ear Trumpet app that I'll leave linked in the description down below. It's a free bit of software and it just allows you to quickly toggle between your sound devices on Windows. I think it works for Windows 10 and 11. There we go. It is actually working. Cool. And then the secondary speakers are, of course, the actual headset. Yeah, that's the setup upgrades for today. A much more efficient way of powering everything. The cable management is also perhaps a little bit better than before, with just two cables coming out of there, going underneath the table, and you know, it's turning out good. Overall, this setup is really coming together. Still on the IKEA Linmon, the iconic IKEA Linmon. It's never going away. I'm never gonna swap desks. I'm just gonna stick to this table until it like snaps in half or something, which, you know, might happen. It is an IKEA Linmon.